Welcome everybody to the Go Level Daily Dose number 10. Today we're going to talk about the thermic effect of food and the weight loss meter. Today I want to put the thermic effect of food in layman's terms, okay? There are 4 macronutrients. There's protein, carbohydrate, fat, and water. Now, anytime we're consuming anything, they go through the digestive processing that our body needs to go through to break these foods down into the chemicals that the body can use to maintain muscle mass, to maintain living tissue, to exert energy. So anytime we're eating, that food's being broken down. And these foods are turning into chemicals. That breakdown process that we're undergoing called digestion requires a lot of energy expenditure. So anytime we're eating a food, we're actually burning calories through digestive processing of the food that we consume. Now take water for example. Very little processing goes on with water. So water has a low thermic effect. There's not a lot of activity going on in our body when it comes to expending energy to absorb water. Okay, so let's set water to the side. Now we need water. We know that that is one of the shibboleth components and the most important one. Your body just can't exist without water. In fact, 2/3 of your body is water. Take all the water out of your body and you would fit in a palm full of capsules. So you are water. Water in, fat out. Water in, waste out. If the waste isn't coming out, the weight won't come off. So water's important, but when it comes to burning calories through the ingestion of water, the consumption of water, that's not really happening. It helps us, water will help us more efficiently break down these other macros, but it's not in itself helping us burn calories. When we consume the number 1 most important macronutrient outside of water, that being protein, our body burns a lot of calories just to break down a lean protein source like fish, like chicken breast. These are whole foods and our body has to really work hard to break lean proteins down. In other words, when I consume a straight up chicken breast or I consume egg whites, I consume turkey cutlets, I consume the leanest cut of ham. If I'm consuming these things, my body has to work double time to break these foods down, to convert them to amino acids, to preserve my muscle, to convert them to energy. Lots is going on. That's why we call category 1 exercise in a category, because you're just burning a lot of calories just through breaking those things down. Okay, so protein. Now protein plus fat, say for example category 4. Like a steak, there's a lot of fat there. Fat doesn't have near the thermic effect to it that a lean protein does. So we lose a little bit of the thermic effect when we move over to a category 4, but they're still fine assuming that you control your portion. But a lot of the calories are being used just through the digestive process. Then you've got the last most important macronutrient. Okay, fat's more important than carbs, but I want to talk about carbs because some carbs that aren't overly processed, lima beans, peas, tomatoes, carrots, onions, sweet potato, these types of carbohydrate have a fair thermic effect. So in other words, consuming them, even though they're elevating the insulin some, we're still getting some thermic effect where our body has to send the blood flow to the digestive system. Think about what the Bible says, the life and health of the flesh is in the blood. When we consume whole foods, like that chicken breast we talked about that was a protein, we're getting blood flow to the digestive system. We're reconstituting our metabolism. When we consume a sweet potato, we're getting a little blood flow to the digestive system. So even though they're elevating insulin a little bit, they've still got a great thermic effect where some, not most, but some of the calories in those carbohydrates are being utilized just to break that carbohydrate down. Now, when we talk about white rice, white bread, white pasta, these kind of things, they don't have a thermic effect. In fact, they not only don't need any blood flow to go to the digestive system to break them down, these candies and processed sugars, all this stuff, they not only don't need much processing, they slow down metabolism. In other words, if I consume 100 calories of white rice, which we say don't do, that's a holiday, but if you consume 100 calories of white rice, it slows everything down so much it's like you consumed 200 calories. It's not just about what the number of calories that's in the food. Now look at this. When I consume long grain brown rice, that's still got the germ and the bran, the endosperm is what we don't want. Well, it's covered in the germ and the bran that requires a lot of digestive processing. So long grain brown rice elevates insulin a little bit, but our body has to work really hard to get through the germ and the bran to get to the endosperm. So we burn some of those calories off because it's a whole grain. Whereas with white rice, there's no bran, there's no germ, it's just endosperm. And we're elevating blood sugar, nothing's good happening there. It's slowing everything down. So understanding the difference between processed carbs and good carbs is very, very important. Then you've got fat. Fat doesn't have much of a thermic effect to it. Some of the calories in fat are utilized to help break fat down, but it doesn't have that much of a thermic effect. Therefore, we have to be careful with long-chain triglycerides. That's why we preach in the foundational program, you want more medium-chain triglycerides that even though they have 100 calories per tablespoon, typically they're breaking down so fast you don't really have to worry about the calorie storage. So when we talk about the thermic effect, in layman's terms, we're talking about the number of calories the body uses to break down a particular macronutrient. Okay? So again, processed foods, it's like double the calories when you consume them. When you consume lean proteins, it's like you almost didn't consume any calories by the time your body processes it. Some good carbs, yeah, good carbohydrates will burn some of their calories off through digestion, but you still have to be careful with them. And then fat, you want to move towards more medium-chain triglycerides or good fats in general. Okay, with that said, now we want to talk about how we built our weight loss meter. We talked about thermic effect. How did we build our weight loss meter? Well, we often get asked from new clients, from experienced members, hey, what is the fastest way for me to lose body fat? What's the fastest, most quickest way? What foods can I consume that will help me lose weight the fastest? And we say, well, other than doing a personal meal plan, which will cost you, more money, you can get a mentor appointment and they'll do it for free for you. They'll help you pick out foods, pick you out a meal plan, help you write it down. I don't know many people do that, but our team will do that for you. But if you're looking to pick out your own foods and put them together, use our weight loss meter. And I'm going to show you that in a moment. You can do that with recipes. You can do that with foods in the food library. The weight loss meter is based upon a few things. The weight loss meter is based upon the thermic effect of the food and or the portion control of the food and or the wellness benefits of the food. In other words, my weight loss meter is there to help you make better decisions day in and day out based upon your situation and based upon your goals. So you'll notice that the weight loss meter goes from a +3 to a -3. That's the scale. +3, +2, +1, 0. 0 being neutral, then -1, -2, -3. The more negative the number, the better that food or recipe. The more negative. Because what I wanted people to do, let's say that you're choosing, and we'll look at it in a moment, let's say that you're choosing wine, which is going to have a positive number. It's approved if you consume wine the right way. It's got a positive number. A positive number meaning that it's probably not going to hurt you if you don't overdo it, but it's probably not going to help you either, okay? So if I'm looking at a week and I'm having up to 3 meals a day, no grazing between meals, and I get through the end of the week and I add up all my numbers and I'm in a negative zone, I probably had a good fat loss week. But if I get through the week and I'm in a 0 to a positive zone, if I add up all the numbers, then I'm probably not having the best week. if we choose foods that are low on the weight loss meter, meaning -1, -2, -3, and we're not grazing between meals, we're only eating up to 3 meals a day, then you're going to see profound fat loss results. So one of the things I tell people is, let's say that you have a meal where you had some wine, and you had wine which was a positive number, and then you had a meal that ended up being a 0 number. That means you got to be careful. That meal probably didn't hurt you, but if you do that routinely, it's not going to help you either. And then you have days where, let's say breakfast was a -3, lunch was a -2, and dinner was a -3. That's a -8 for the day. That's a praise God moment. I mean, you're blowtorching it then. As long as everything's trumped by the shield. As long as it was up to 3 meals and you portion controlled right. And see, those are the things I can't really help you with. If you're not following the portion rule, then all bets are off, because too much of even a good thing is just too much. So that's the weight loss meter. Now let's go look at our weight loss meter, how that manifests itself in the food library and with recipes, so that you can get an idea of which foods will cause the greater fat loss. All right, everybody, let's look at our food library and let's continue our discussion on the weight loss meter, which is meant to help direct your choices based upon your situation and goals. So if I go to the approved food library, some still won't have a weight loss meter attached, but that doesn't mean the food isn't approved. It just means we haven't got around to doing a good analysis. But let's go to lean protein. Category 1, lean protein. Okay, you'll see lean proteins listed here, and out beside the lean protein, you'll see in this little light blue box, you'll see a number. And you'll see it anywhere from a -3 to a +3. So if I'm looking and I see Applegate's Natural Smoked Turkey Breast, I'm curious about it. I go in here and I'm looking at the product, I'll notice it's a -3. So if my grocery store is carrying that and it's something that I like, I've got a great fat loss product, assuming that I portion control right and put it with the right other ingredients. Don't let the numerical system drive you crazy. Long before we had the weight loss meter, people were losing lots of weight with our lifestyle. But this is an enhancement so that you can, based upon, maybe you're getting ready for an anniversary, you're getting ready for a vacation, and you want to just stick to the -3 foods, you'll get better results. So I look through here and it tells me, hey, I can get this at Kroger maybe. There's all kind of information here. But it's a great resource for you to pick out those -3 foods. Now, I can also go to filters. By going to filters, I'm in category 1. I can look at the weight loss meter, and now I can say only show me -2 to -3 foods. So I move this little slider over to -2, and I've got -3. So it's not going to show me anything that's not at least -2, -3. So I set it, and you can do this in every single category. Now all I have is a selection of -2, -3 meals, and it says show more. There's going to be a huge list of -2, -3 meals. Think of this too. Once you determine what your -2, -3 meals are, look, here's an approved bologna that's a -2. I can heart it and favorite it. But once you determine, hey, I'm just going to focus on what I can have and not on what I can't have, if you'll just get your mind off the world and all the variety and focus on -2, -3 foods and eat them according to the Cibola Shield, you will lose so much fat so fast, your friends will ask you what you're doing. They won't believe you're eating approved bologna. But anyway, let's say too, just another little nugget of information here. It's a -2. I want to add that to my grocery list so I don't forget it. I can add it. I'm going to choose a grocery list. You can create as many as you want. I'm going to add it to my Ingles grocery list. Add. Now it's on my grocery list. I can go at the end of the day when I'm done adding to my grocery list, I can simply go into resources, go to my grocery list, pull up Ingles, and it's got my Ingles grocery list. The foods that I shop for at Ingles, I keep my mind off of everything else at Ingles, and I just go with my list at Ingles. Boy, what a great tool, and you can print this out too. You can print it, take it to Ingles. Let's get back to Weight Loss Meter now. Great tool, great resource that very few people know about or use on our planet. So let's say that I'm going into breads now. I'm going to go to breads. Okay, here I am in the bread category. I'm going to set it to 0. 0 means it's not going to help you, but it's not going to hurt you. And then I'm going to put -3 because I'm really looking for the best breads. And then I just set my filter, and it comes up with all of the best breads. And I can look through here. Let's see, a lot of them are 0. I want better than that. So I'm going to adjust my filter. I'm going to go to -1. -1 to -3 breads. If it's a -3 bread, it means it breaks down more like a green bean than it does a bread in your digestive system. Now I've got the best ones. And I can find me a great tortilla, a great bread that's not going to hurt me and is going to help me. Here is a -2 bread. Wow. A -3 bread. Olay Extreme Wellness High Fiber Tortilla. So I can pick out the best fat loss breads, and again, just focus on what I can have and not on what I cannot have. I really hope that this lesson helped you. I hope it helps you make better decisions based upon your situation and goals. Please give me feedback on the videos and comments. Let me know if these things are helping you, if there's any new revelation, because that's why I do this. Thank you.